February 4th, 2026, Russian soldiers became the target of an FPV drone. The Ukrainian Signum Battalion targeted many Russian soldiers with drones in the Lyman and Pokrovsk regions. Russian soldiers encountered drone attacks while attempting to take up positions in forested areas, in a war where even hiding in the forest has become impossible. What could now be the infantry's greatest defensive weapon? This unit, which has carried out thousands of attacks, is forcing Russian soldiers to remain underground. The drone, lying in wait along the road, launched its attack as vehicles filled with soldiers approached. Although the soldiers spotted the drone at the last moment and opened fire, the drone managed to hit one of the vehicles. Look at the soldier wandering in the open field. A Russian soldier, completely unarmed and in a rather helpless state. About to be attacked by a Ukrainian drone, the Russian soldier began signaling his surrender. Accepting surrender is almost impossible in areas where active fighting is ongoing. But this soldier fought with everything he had to survive. The Ukrainian drone operator accepted the Russian soldier's surrender, and the Russian soldier was escorted to a safe area by the drone. The FPV drone was conducting reconnaissance along the front line in the eastern part of the Donetsk region. Shortly thereafter, it detected two Russian soldiers attempting to hide under a tree. The drone swiftly launched an attack. Before the soldiers could comprehend what was happening, they became the drone's targets. If you notice, the soldiers don't even have time to react. The drone's speed and ability to approach silently reduces the time between detection and destruction on the battlefield to just a few seconds. This time, the drone's target is a soldier walking alone in open terrain on the front line. The drone is seen firing. However, it is quite difficult to hit a drone with automatic weapons, and the soldier could not escape being the drone's target. The chance of a standard bullet hitting a drone, traveling at this speed and being quite small, is almost impossible. This time, an FPV drone is following a military vehicle carrying ammunition to the front line. There are soldiers in the vehicle ahead. The FPV drone is searching for a suitable position to attack. Those in the vehicle are unaware that they are being tracked by a drone. Even if they saw the drone, there is nowhere for them to escape to here. And now the drone has seized the right moment for the attack. Ukrainian forces' drone operations, concentrated in the Donetsk and Pokrovsk regions, continue to seriously disrupt the Russian army's logistics and field control. Russian forces' vehicles carrying ammunition and fuel are constantly being tracked and targeted by drones. This has led to the disruption of critical military supply lines, particularly around Pokrovsk. In your opinion, how long can a military unit that has had its logistical support completely cut off and whose supply routes are controlled by drones be expected to hold out on the front lines? While moving to attack a Russian trench built between trees in a wooded area, the Ukrainian FPV drone spotted a Russian soldier trying to hide behind a tree and immediately attacked him. In the Lyman region, numerous Russian soldiers and many armored vehicles were targeted in an attack launched by Ukrainian forces. Russian forces, struggling to advance under extremely difficult conditions on the front line, are constantly being pushed back by drone attacks. The main reason Russian forces withdrew immediately after launching their attack was Ukraine's complete control of the skies. The moment a unit goes on the offensive, it is detected by Azov and other elite drone operators. Look closely. 2 Russian soldiers were spotted by Ukrainian reconnaissance drones as they were about to enter their positions. The Russian soldiers also noticed the drone and immediately went inside. The drone, carrying a powerful explosive, was immediately sent to attack. The drone exploded directly as it entered the trench where the Russian soldiers were located. 2 Russian soldiers did not survive. Drones were deployed to destroy a bridge used by Russian forces. An FPV drone flew under a bridge and collided with mines placed to destroy it. The explosives carried by the drone failed to detonate for an unknown reason. A second drone was then deployed. This time, the explosives on the drone were triggered, causing all the mines to explode in a massive blast. Russian soldiers hiding in a warehouse-like structure next to a house, essentially underground, were attacked by drones. Trapped in a location with no other exit, the soldiers could not escape the attacks. The soldier, looking for a place to hide from the drone, found nowhere to go except behind the trees. Most likely, he didn't even have a weapon to defend himself against the drone. Before long, the drone launched its attack. The soldier who got out of the armored vehicle decided not to do anything against the drone. He remained where he was, even as the drone approached him, and the drone hit him. Why did he do such a thing? Is this a surrender? Or did he think the drone belonged to his own unit? As a result, the soldier did not survive the attack. A Russian soldier trying to escape from an unmanned aerial vehicle in the darkness of night. This soldier, caught by the Ukrainian FPV drone's night thermal vision system, was unable to escape the drone. Previously, providing logistical support, changing shifts, or changing positions at night was relatively safe. However, thermal vision drones have completely disrupted this equation. Although some soldiers use special blankets to conceal their heat signatures, the heat emitted by the body while moving, or the temperature difference caused by breathing, cannot escape the drone's sensitive sensors. Thousands of weekly drone attacks have created an air barrage that prevents Russian forces from advancing on the ground. This pressure is forcing Russian units to scatter, split into small groups, and become trapped in their positions. The war between Ukraine and Russia is continuing not only on land, but also in the sky. Various reconnaissance drones belonging to Russian forces have been neutralized by Ukrainian drone attacks. These attacks are not as easy as they seem. Reconnaissance UAVs typically fly at altitudes between 1,500 and 5,000 meters. FPV drone operators use specialized software and enhanced batteries to reach this altitude and catch a target in the air, traveling at speeds of up to 150 kilometers per hour. Are small, agile drones now replacing air defense systems? Do you think these small killers will replace large aircraft in future wars? Russian soldiers, thinking that trenches are exposed targets, are moving towards abandoned buildings and ruins. However, these buildings are actually turning into traps for drone operators. Although movement is restricted in a trench, an escape route can be found. Entering a ruin, on the other hand, gives the drone only one entry point to target. Do you think that with technology being so advanced, there is really only one truly safe place left for a soldier to hide on the battlefield? Ukrainian forces have neutralized Russian artillery, tanks, and numerous military vehicles in the Sumy and Donetsk regions. Russian soldiers' attempts to conceal their vehicles with tree branches or simple nets are now completely ineffective against modern warfare technology. The most striking point is that there are no signal jammers alongside such valuable military equipment, tanks and artillery. The Russian army cannot deploy these expensive EW systems to every point along the front line. In regions with vast plains like Donetsk and Sumy, once an armored vehicle's location is pinpointed, its chances of escape are virtually zero. Without a signal jammer, and if the vehicle cannot move, it becomes nothing more than a statistic waiting to be destroyed for the drone operator. Russia's massive armored force, on paper, is melting away in this manner against drones costing a few $100s on the front lines. In the harshest winter of 2026, the front lines are no longer witnessing massive tank assaults, but rather a freezing stalemate and drone attacks from the sky. Russian forces have halted their attacks and are attempting to fortify their positions, having realized that further advances in the Lyman and Donetsk regions are now nearly impossible. However, as you can see in the footage, establishing a permanent defense line is almost impossible in the face of modern drone technology. The biggest obstacle to Russia's efforts to strengthen these regions is its inability to establish an effective electronic warfare (EW) umbrella. According to our latest data, the Russian army lacks even simple signal jammers to protect its most valuable artillery systems and tanks against drones. Ukrainian drones are relentlessly striking Russia's logistics routes and supply lines, eroding the defense line from within. In your opinion, how much longer can Russia continue this war by merely defending itself and suffering heavy losses?